You take for granted in the city and in developed areas that your water is always going to be there.
You turn the faucet on, the water comes out, you use it. You don't think of it as a product that they have to clean and treat so that it looks like something you want to drink.
The health of the city is one of the primary missions of the water department. We do more to prevent disease than any physician's group ever.
Water is a very, very, very precious commodity, and it's interesting how it goes from raw water to potable water.
Thank you.
People are surprised that we still get our drinking water from the Schuylkill and the Delaware rivers in the city of Philadelphia.
If we have a healthy, clean river that enables us to do our job more effectively and enables us to provide a good, consistent product affordably to our customers.
By protecting our drinking water, we're also improving habitat for fish and wildlife.
When you turn on the water flows. When you flush the toilet, it goes away, and I guess it doesn't matter anymore because it's out of my house. Well, it comes somewhere, and that happens to be the wastewater treatment plant, where your dedicated operators will handle it 24/7.
Whether the water is in the form of rain, groundwater, a river like the Schuylkill, the Delaware, whether it's water coming out of your tap or going down your toilet, it's all the same water, and it all has to be managed with a holistic view to ensure, protect, and improve the water quality of our rivers and streams. It is our environmental challenge of the 21st century, and how do we, as Philadelphia Water Department employees, work together to solve this problem, not just for the next decade, but for the next 200 years.
At a drinking water treatment plant, we're taking water from rivers and processing it into clean, safe, high-quality drinking water. We have 3 drinking water treatment plants, and together we produce about 300 million gallons of water every day. People consume about 100 gallons of water per person every day for drinking, cooking, showering, washing clothes. It really all adds up.
The distribution department, we try to keep water flowing throughout the city. We maintain all of the water mains throughout the city of Philadelphia. The fire hydrants for the fire department, valves that control the flow throughout each block and throughout neighborhoods. The main purpose is to make sure that citizens of Philadelphia have good drinking water and plenty of it.
Our unit was the customer information unit. We're manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Every property in the city.
Sometimes people call about no water, they call about low water pressure, they may call about water in the cellar, missing inlet covers, missing manhole covers. Some calls can be handled right away, and in cases where they can't, we send customer service inspectors out and they investigate to see what the problem is.
We maintain approximately 80,000 inlets throughout the city of Philadelphia with 45 two-man mechanical crews and trucks. On a yearly basis, we remove approximately 10,000 tons of debris. The majority is from people just littering.
In the city of Philadelphia, we have over 3,100 miles of sewer to maintain. Every day sewers are cleaned and inspected. I would say our biggest challenge is keep on top of everything, whether it's cleaning, whether it's repairing, whether it's monitoring. It's something that's always flowing. It's something that never stops.
In the design branch at the Philadelphia Water Department, we design water mains to distribute the water to our customers and sewers to collect the sewage and rainwater and take it to the plant for treatment. We have a very strong existing infrastructure. However, when we get certain storms, we can't always get all of the flow to the plant, so we are looking for ways to intercept that flow so that it doesn't pollute our rivers.
A wastewater treatment plant is a facility that's used to treat wastewater. It could be rain runoff, it could be domestic, it can be industrial waste. That water we treat it to make it safe prior to going back into the environment, and eventually makes its way back around to the freshwater system. We treat, on an average day with no rain, anywhere from 120 to 180 million gallons a day. On a rainy day, we can go up to 450 to 500 million gallons a day.
Our 3 wastewater treatment plants do more than anything else to improve the environment of our rivers and streams. We have over 3,000 miles of sewer pipe that has led Philadelphia to a very good place and very clean rivers and streams. Almost all the sewage, when it's not raining, goes to our treatment plants for treatment. But when it rains, our land can't handle the rainwater. And it's sending too much rainwater into our sewers, polluting our sewers, and making our sewers overflow into the rivers and streams, putting pollution into the rivers and streams. We must do something about the sewage that's running into our rivers and streams every time it rains. So it's really a question of whether we increase the capacity of our sewer system or decrease the demand on our existing capacity. And we have 2 choices. One is to build a tunnel that runs from northeast Philadelphia down to the airport, up the Schuylkill River, up to the dam, up the Cobbs Creek, and up to Coney Creek, a $10 billion tunnel. Or to do it in a more green fashion, which is to keep the water out of the sewer in the first place. We've chosen the latter, recognizing the incredible value and strength of the 3,000 miles of sewer pipes that we have now. We need to invest money into making sure that legacy from the past continues into our future, and at the same time value that rainwater in a way that prevents it from becoming a pollutant by going down into our sewer.
Okay, ready?
We're constantly developing ways to handle the rain flow, especially with the green infrastructure stuff coming in now. We're banking on that, helping the situation tremendously because we're trying to develop different ways of managing the stormwater to put it into areas that are less invasive to our system.
What we're trying to do with the green infrastructure is to manage the water actually on the site, detained until the peak of the storm has passed and released back into the system, but at a rate at which the sewer and the treatment plant can handle.
It's going to save us a lot of money, a lot of hours to filter the water back into the earth rather than take it to our treatment plants. Every day we look for new ideas, to our engineers all the way down to our laborers. We all communicate, we accept all ideas, and we try it out.
We're always learning about things to improve our watersheds because by improving our watersheds, of course, that improves our water sources. You need trees, you need grass, you need an infrastructure.
Any drop of water that lands on the surface of the watershed and runs off is going to end up here. And what it brings along with it along the way is also going to end up here. The land has a huge impact on the stream.
When you see streams are in a degraded condition in an urban environment, it's almost always attributed to stormwater runoff. That pulse of stormwater entering the stream causes severe damage to the stream banks. If you go and restore a stream, through restoration itself, you're saving your banks, but if you reduce the amount of stormwater that's going into that stream, you actually are making your stream restoration projects much more sustainable.
Our forefathers really recognized that important relationship. And so Philadelphia, back in the mid-19th century, really began the development of Fairmount Park. So over time, we have been really lucky in having this really robust park system that provides a lot of good protection. Even at that time, people recognized the true connection between beautiful green spaces, public health, and the protection of our waterways. And that's always been a part of our mission, a part of Parks and Rec's mission, a part of the city's mission, really ensuring that its public green spaces were protected and maintained to ensure that quality of life was always there for our citizens.
We're looking at different areas that right now may be degraded and saying, is this a potential area where we could create a stormwater wetland, where we could do a stream restoration project and improve the area and see people come back out to it and be here again. People need a place to relax. People need a place to enjoy nature, enjoy themselves, where they feel safe, where they feel connected to each other and to their environment.
The vision of the Water Department is certainly to be the 21st century most sustainable water utility. And so that really has an impact on the city because what we do and how we implement those things also overlay how the city looks, how the city manages its land, how the city renews its streets, how the city uses its infrastructure, and how the city reduces its environmental footprint and makes sure that our resources are there and sustainable for future generations. The nation is looking at the Philadelphia Water Department today because of the types of things that we're doing.
We have tremendous projects. We have a solar farm at the Southeast plant. We have a first geothermal facility that takes the heat from the sewage and uses it for building heat. We're building a $50 million cogeneration facility, which is going to take the methane gas and create energy that's going to supply about 2/3, if not more, of the electricity for that facility. We are among the top utilities in the country in the new innovation of moving from gray infrastructure towards green infrastructure. We're spending our money above ground, supporting the economy in Philadelphia, rather than burying our wealth underground. We're making people recognize the importance of water, the wealth of water, and using that to improve our city and make our city sustainable, to make Philadelphia as good as it can be.
That doesn't mean that we should close the door on pipes and concrete. In fact, without them, we couldn't leverage many of our continued developments. We need that infrastructure, but we should leverage it.
This is another one of those great opportunities to kind of bring everyone together and do something positive for the neighborhood.
All the work that's gone into managing the stormwater, it not only has some great environmental and ecological value, it also has a tremendous social value as well.
1, 2, 3.
I think Philadelphia is positioning itself in the next 10 years to be one of those lead cities, one of the most competitive cities, one of the cities where people want to be. And it's this kind of work that is going to girder its competitiveness. It is really the framework of a way of doing business, a way of spending public dollars, a way of interacting with citizens.
As a cutting-edge leading utility, we are the first in many things. And I think that comes from a willingness to try things. It takes people with a know-how and get it done attitude. And so I think the spirit of innovation might be characterized as a willingness to take a risk. It's kind of, we're willing to try. Let's see what happens. And that takes courage. And I think this utility has that kind of courage.